Yesterday, I told you that we have within us two very important powers. The first power is the power of desire, by which we desire, called as Ichha Shakti in Sanskrit language, and the another power, which is called as the Kriya power, or we can say the power of action. These two are really gross powers which are expressed outside as sympathetic nervous system. Left and right sympathetic nervous system. The central path is called the Sushumna Nadi, the channel of our ascent. This channel represents our evolution through ages. We can say that this channel is responsible for giving us our evolution from amoeba to this stage as a human being. And all the centers that you see there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of them are the milestones in our progress, in our evolution. These are all placed within us. These subtle centers are there. They are all there. And we are made up of this beautiful instrument. We are not aware of it. Of course, we are not aware. Also, we can't see them because they are subtle centers and we cannot see with our naked eye. We can only see the manifestation of these centers outside as gross plexuses. Now, today, as I told you yesterday, I will be dealing with each center one by one, and I'll tell you what these centers represent within us. Now, the very first center is the center of our innocence. Before creating us, before creating this universe, innocence was created. Innocence is the most powerful power on this earth. Innocence is love, innocence is God, and innocence is the only thing that really keeps us going in this horrible world in which we are born. This innocence we find in the matter. Matter is innocent. If you hit the matter, it will hit you. If you don't hit it, it is all right. You can change the form of the matter. You see, say for this hall, it won't trouble you. If you are here, it will give you a shade. If you want, you can use it for disturbing others, for destroying others. The way you want to use it, you can use it because it doesn't say anything to us. So at this center is the carbon element which started growing within us. We can say the carbon is in the center of the whole system of elements. Carbon is in the center because it is a tetravalent element. As you know, it has got 4 valencies. And when carbon came in its existence, then only life could be produced. And this center is thus the center where we became really tetravalent. Means we became an element by which we could become human beings. We could become the living things. The living thing started when carbon came into existence. So this center is very important because this center represents that stage of human evolution where we became living human beings. Before this, we were dead people. We were just like these stones and things that you see around. After that I told you that center, about that I talked to you yesterday. After that, you have the second center of our seeking. When an animal came into being, he started seeking. First, he started seeking the food. For example, the unicellular animals like amoeba and all that, they just seek food. They do not seek anything else but food. And that is the beginning of our seeking. So the first grossest seeking was the food, where we started seeking something for our growth, for our nutrition. The second seeking started when some of the animals felt that they were too big for their sizes, they couldn't move around, and they found it impossible to do something about it. Now, we can say that even before these animals were made, before that, the fishes themselves were surrounded by land, and one of the fishes had to come out, the future that was going to happen. In these chaotic conditions and confusions, we start seeking more and more. And the real seeking is that of beyond. Of course, we must say that the play of the seeking is not only human, there is also God's play. It is God who wants you to seek. It is God who wants you to get your realization. You are the epitome of His creation. Human beings are the highest that He has created. You see how beautifully He has created you. In thousands of years, from amoeba, from carbon, for an ordinary, say from an hydrogen atom, you have become like this. There must be some purpose, some reason why God has made you like this. It's not just a wasteful, purposeless activity of God. But what is the purpose of God? Why did He do it? Nobody thinks about it. Scientists, of course, they're being honest. They say we cannot find out, so forget about it. Whatever they cannot find out and reason out, they just don't discuss. So one has to see whether there is some reason or not. But is there any purpose in our life? Or are we to come on this earth and just to die like any other animal and have no gains in our human awareness? This question has been arising into the minds of thousands of people and thousands of people. And at this time, as you know, the market was full with the idea that we have to seek. So the market got flooded with all kinds of people who wanted to market it. I mean, it's automatic. There are marketeers for everything. You want something, you will find marketeers just coming around. And that's how it happened. And they took advantage of the simplicity and of the, I would say, the naivety of people, and they misused them and misled them. They could not understand how God can be organized by these people, whether they were the contractors of God, or how could they talk of God. What was the sign and symptom of a person who comes to you and says that I'm God and you should receive this thing from me? What we believe in was the superficial appearances. Like a person has, say, 58 Rolls Royce. He must be a great man. Not a saint. The saint doesn't have any Rolls Royces. We could not see that. See, for us, it was very much great that he lives in a big mansion. Not the saint. The saint doesn't want mansions. He can live on the street. For him, it does not matter whether it's a mansion or a street, makes no difference to him. And this is the simple thing that they did not know about a saint. And they got impressed by all these things, by the media and the way they put up the show and the circus that they carry. This is the saddest part of the whole story. And that's how our seeking was misled. Today I would like to say about this chakra especially, that is the what we call the Nabhi chakra, is the central path of our evolution, where you start your seeking and you cross over to other side. Now, surrounding this, you will find there is the ocean of illusion. And this ocean of illusion was covered by a deity, by a special, powerful personality whom we call as the Tattvaya, is the primordial master. And he incarnated on this earth many a time. At the time of Christ, even before that, he incarnated as, say, Abraham, Moses, Socrates, Lao Tse. Later on, he incarnated as Muhammad Sahib. Then the same great principle incarnated as Nanak. Then the same principle at the last incarnated as Sainath or Shirdi. So the same great principle of this primordial master has incarnated. Because without a master, how will you be taken away from this illusion? How you are going to be exposed to that reality which you do not feel? What has to happen to you is that you have to become more sensitive, more open, awakened, enlightened to feel that all pervading power around you. Now, these came again and again and told you that you must look after your dharma. Dharma doesn't mean any religion that is being established in the names of these people. Because human beings know how to make a pickle out of everyone. They are great experts. All of them in essence are one and the same. But like flowers on the same tree can be taken away from time to time, and when they become ugly and they become completely spoiled, then people can claim this is my flower, this is my flower. Everybody has become a contractor of this. Actually, these people belong to the whole universe. They are universal beings, and they came on this earth to give us a sustenance within us, a sustenance. Dharma means a sustenance. That is, we can say that a quality that is human. For example, gold has a quality that is untarnishable. Carbon has a quality that it is tetravalent. In the same way, I would say human beings have 10 valencies, or we can say has a quality that they have to have these 10 specialities in them so that they can be called as human beings. All these 10 specialities are represented by the 10 incarnations of this primordial spirit on this earth. There are many others also spirits who came, who are, we can say, followers of these, or we can say the disciple incarnations of this great power, which we call as the primordial master. And such a primordial master is needed, no doubt. But such a primordial master has to have certain qualities. If they are missing, how is he going to be our master? A guru means a person who has got that weight in him, weight of virtues, of qualities, of righteousness, of holiness. A person who is not righteous, who is a parasite, who leads a bad life, cannot be your guru. Not only that, but what is a guru's speciality is that he makes you meet God. He connects you to God. He doesn't connect you to all kinds of funny things that these gurus are doing nowadays. On this point, I have to tell you how the false people work it out and how the reality works out. Now, if you see, on the right-hand side of this lies the power of your Kriya Shakti as your action power. Now, what they do is they tell you that you start doing some sort of a jumping, standing on your head, or they may say that take out your tongue. You see, there was a guru here, now he doesn't do that, he's dead. But what he did is in lifetime, he asked people to cut the tongue at the base and put the tongue back and do some sort of a trick called, I don't know what they called it, khechari. All these nonsensical things people started doing, to push your eyes down like that, or I don't know what else, and to stand on your head, stand on one leg, do all kinds of these tricks. You cannot go to God. This is not the way to be done. This is not the way you can get to God. It's sahajya, it's spontaneous. It's a process that is living. It cannot work out by these tricks that people tell you, do this, do that. This is not the way it is going to work out. Remember, it will only work out if there is a spontaneous happening of Kundalini awakening, which is the Holy Mother you have got. She is an auspicious mother, she is Holy Mother, she is not unholy, and you cannot use it for any unholy purpose. Now we have lost the meaning of the word holy. We have lost the meaning of the word, what you call the auspiciousness. We do not know what righteousness is. In these modern times, these words sound so hollow and so funny. But you'll be amazed that this exists within us, whether you like it or not. If we do not get the blessings of holiness, you cannot raise the Kundalini. Kundalini is a spontaneous thing. It's just like a seed that sprouts in the Mother Earth. In the same way, when the warmth of holiness and auspiciousness is faced by a person then only the Kundalini is going to rise. So any guru who comes and tells you that I give you a realization, you stand on your head, you tell him you better go on standing till you get your realization. Then there are many other things they tell you. They say that you will start flying. Now, we have to understand all these nonsensical things. Why do we want to do? Why do we want to fly in the air? You are already flying with too much. I mean, just now I was coming in the sky, I saw so many aeroplanes that I thought a day may come when you will have to find some sort of a method of arranging the crossing of these aeroplanes and how the traffic has to be arranged even there. Now, all such ideas that we are going to fly, or somebody says that we become sort of a person who leaves the body and goes up and sees from there, or somebody who sees the colors, or he sees the aura. All these things seeing. You can do otherwise. It is not the seeing that is important. As I told you yesterday, saying that this is the truth. There are many who say this is the truth. You have to become the truth. In the second thing, you have to know today that by seeing something, you do not become. If you see something, supposing we were coming by this road, we saw this church. But when we came in, we don't see it now. When you are away from it, when we crossed the mountain, we never saw it. When we are on it, we never saw it. When we were away from it, then we saw it. So seeing something is not receiving that, is not to be. To be means in your awareness, as he said, in your central nervous system, you must feel that you have become the spirit. Yesterday I told you about the spirit and what are the blessings of the spirits and how you get it. But if your dharma is not all right, supposing you have moved too much to the right side, even a person who is a very busy man, he's running the rat race, he has no time for God, he has no time for his spirit, nothing, he's running very fast. All right, you run fast and jump into the place where you have to go. You have to be in the center, not extreme action can take you to your real path. And now, if you take a car, for example, I mean, in our practical life, we always try to keep everything in the center. In the sense, your car cannot run on one-sided wheels. It has to have both the wheels. On a chair, you cannot sit if it has only two legs on one side. You cannot sit. Our center of gravity acts in the center. We, in our normal life, heave to the center. We cannot walk with one side like this. We have to put both the legs on the ground and walk on both the legs. In the same way, if you try to act on one side, as I told you yesterday, you can create a terrible imbalance, especially in dharma, it happens. And that's why I'm telling you today that any extreme behavior on dharma is not needed. There is no need to go on madly calling God, oh God, come along. People are saying mantras now. Any sort of mantra they take. There's one guru who charges 300 pounds, and the mantra he gives means, in Hindi language is called as tinga, means when you show like this, that is it. Can you believe it? And so many people are doing it, paying 300 pounds. I mean, you tell any Indian, and they will just laugh. How can it be? Inga. Inga in Marathi language means the tail of a scorpion. These are the mantras they are giving to you, and you are paying 300 pounds for that. Now, the mantra cannot be given like that. It's a wrong idea that you give some mantra to somebody. For example, every center has a different mantra. Every center has got a problem. When the Kundalini rises, you know. When you come, say, to the center of Sri Krishna. Now you have to take the name of Sri Krishna. If you come to the center of the Gurus, of the Adi Gurus, of the Sadgurus, then you have to take the name of Sadgurus. Sadguru means the one who is the real master. Then you have to take their names. But if you are taking the name of some one person, for example, say we take the name of Rama. Now, where is the center of Rama? You can see there. The center of Rama is on the right side of the heart centering, which is in the center. Now, if you take the name of Rama and you have no problem, you will get into problems. It's easiest way to get into problems because Sri Rama is a deity. You cannot just take his name without any protocol. There is no rhyme and reason. For example, if I take the name of, say, the governor of this place and just go before his house and start shouting his name, I don't know his name, they'll arrest me. In the same way, if you take the name of Rama without having any protocol, without having any understanding, first of all, this center will be ruined because you will be taking the name, means you'll be using your voice all the time unnecessarily, and also the right side heart center will be gone. And all such people will suffer physically from asthma. Absolutely. If you have asthma trouble, then you can find out that you are suffering from this Rama center. Maybe there's something wrong with your father, or maybe something wrong with your fatherhood, or maybe something that you are missing your father, or that your father has died, or something is wrong. Asthma can be cured, as I told you yesterday, only by taking Rama's name. But if you are asthma, then the name has to be taken by a realized soul, by a person who is empowered, who has the protocol, who can talk to Sri Rama in the sense who is connected. Any Dick, Tom and Harry cannot take his name. There's a protocol about it. Now, in the same way, Guru's name also. We cannot take without protocol. We must have the protocol. Anybody who is all the time saying Guru, 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 Guru is not paying full attention to it, neither is respecting. I have seen people, they go against the teachings of Guru. For example, now we can say that all the Gurus have taught one thing, that you have to look after your awareness. Awareness is in that area. Awareness is nourished by liver. They are very anxious that your liver should be all right. Whatever they have taught, they have tried to see that your liver should be all right. And all the Gurus have been against alcoholism. Take a Moses, you take Ibrahim, you take Nanaka, you take Muhammad Sahib, all of them are more worried about the liver than for anything else. Somebody asked me, why didn't Christ decry wine? He did not support it either. But he had some other job to be done, so he didn't talk about it. But he never drank wine. I mean, the wine in those days didn't mean fermented wine as you have. I mean, the people never used to smoke also in those days. At the time of, say, Muhammad Sahib, there was no smoking. So he never prohibited any smoking, but he said no narcotics, nothing that goes against awareness should be taken. So they said, oh, then there's nothing wrong in smoking. Then he took his birth. The same principle took his birth at Guru Nanak. And Guru Nanak then said no smoking and no drinking. Why? Because they were worried about the awareness of a person. If your awareness is not all right, what's the use of giving you realization? You are already not aware. Now, drugs, same thing. If you take to drugs or anything like that, you go down in your awareness. It's a fact, you know. You get some, maybe if you take some drugs, you may go to the right side and you might see colors and things. But that's hallucination. You go to the other side, you may feel, oh, you are dying and something, and you go into the subconscious and the collective subconscious. You may go on to the collective supraconscious and the right hand side. But to go up, you have to keep in the center, you have to be alert, and your awareness should be normal. To keep it normal, to keep it in balance, these people prescribe that you should not try to do anything that is too much, ati. Extremes should be avoided. But the result of that was just the opposite. All the fanatics were born out of these teachings. Imagine, all the fanatics were born out of these teachings, which were meant not to have any fanaticism. Actually, if somebody is a fanatic, he develops diseases of the stomach. Fanaticism gives you horrible diseases of the stomach. The other day we had a gentleman from Iran. He is a doctor there and he had cancer. He came to know about me, came to see me in London. And I told him that, do you believe that Muhammad Sahib is the only one who can save the world? He said, yes. Then I think he should have saved it. No, but I think he's the only one who can save. He was the last one. I said, maybe he might have thought that I'm the last, but he must have seen the way you are behaving. He must have taken his birth again. He could not keep it at that stage, perhaps. I said, can you believe that he came back as Guru Nanak? He said, I can't believe it. No, I can't believe it. I said, he was the same principle. I can't believe it. I said, then I can't help you. If you are a fanatic, I can't help you. It cannot be cured. Now he went home and he had a terrible time, and his wife was wise enough. She said, now Islam has not helped you so far. You have been such a big Muslim, you have been doing namaz and all that, still your cancer cannot be cured. So why not listen to mother? If she says so, give up. So he came down to me. And he said, all right, I agree that it was Nanaka who came on this earth and all that. And you will be amazed, he's cured. He's cured of that. All these fundamentalists and fanatics, see, we are aware of. Now, Americans had a good look at them recently. Very recently, they had a nice shock from a man called Mr. Khomeini. You know him too well. But if you go and ask him, he'll say, oh, I'm just from God. I mean, I'm connected with God. And it is He who gave me these orders. And it is through His orders I worked out. Because they are so blind with the fanaticism that they don't want to see. And this kind of fanaticism, if it crawls into you, you will also not see. For example, even Christian fundamentalists are the same. Or the Hindu fundamentalists are the same. I don't find anything different in them. If you want to ask, say, a Christian about a Jew, you will know about the Jews. But if you go to the Jews, they'll say Christians are the worst of all. And if you go to the Muslims, they'll say the Jews, they are the worst, they are the cursed people. All of them think they are the best, the chosen ones, and the rest of them are going to be doomed. I must tell you that all fanatics are going to be doomed, one and all. And I think in that domain of hell, they may agree with each other. But it may be too late for them to understand that God has not created as any fanatic. He has not. You are part and parcel of one being. Supposing this finger says, I'm all right, or this finger says, I'm all right, it is going to trouble the whole body. It's such a nonsense that it is better to cut it off than to keep it there. Malignancy that works in us is the same, that you are on your own. What's wrong? I'm on my own. Any cell that becomes like that is really malignant because it has no relationship with the whole. It has no relationship with the coordination and the cooperation of the whole thing, how it is working out. It is on its own. What's wrong? The wrong is that you are getting out of circulation, and very soon you will land up in a place which is called as hell. And then you will ask, oh, I never knew. You are all connected with each other. You are all part and parcel of one collective being, which you have to just feel it and understand that you become that. Till this is connected to the mains, this doesn't work out. Once it is connected to the mains, it works out. In the same way, unless and until you are connected to the mains, you cannot know that you are a collective being. Before that, we form big organizations. We are all brothers and sisters, and just after a month of that formation of an organization, you find that people are cutting each other's throats. Why? Because they are not really brothers and sisters. They have not felt it. When you become, then you just can't help it. Like people may say that, Mother, you help so many people, you do so much for them, why do you cure them? I said, whom do I cure? Who is the other? If this finger is paining, I have to rub it off and it's all right. It's a part and parcel of me. If there is not the other, then you just help the other person because he's part and parcel of you. If somebody is getting drowned and you are trying to save that person, you are doing it because something in you is dying. You are not doing it because you are trying to help the person, because there's something in you is dying and you want to save that person. This is what it is. And this collectivity you can only feel if you are first of all in balance. The people who go off their balances are very difficult to get their realization. This is one side of the movement in Dharma also. When they seek God, when they seek their realization, they go to the other side of it. Now people can't believe that for this you cannot put in any effort. No action is needed. Now look at the trees. Look at the flowers. How spontaneously they become fruits. Look at the trees. How they turn themselves, the leaves, towards the sun and how they get their chlorophyll established in them, how it happens so spontaneously, how it works out, how they understand. While we think that by doing some sort of an effort, we are going to become something higher, is absolutely an absurd idea. As it is, you did nothing to become human beings. You did nothing whatsoever. You became human being effortlessly. And further, if you have to go, it has to be effortless. Everything vital is always effortless. As I said the other day, if you have to breathe, and for breathing, if you have to go to libraries and go to some guru and pay him some money, how many will survive? It is so vital that it has to happen. The only difference in this evolution, and the evolution so far we have had, is this, that this, you being free, you are going to feel it in your awareness. Before this, you never felt it in your awareness. Now, only at this time, you are going to feel it in your awareness that you have become the other person. That a cocoon has become the butterfly. That an egg has become a bird. You can feel it within yourself, this happening. You can absolutely monitor it within yourself, and you are aware of it, that this has happened. This is a blessing placed within you since long. And that's why it is Sahaja, means born with you. Sahajya, born with you. But today, this Sahaja Yoga has become a Mahayoga. It has become a great yoga because one can work it out on en masse. For many people can get realization. Just like a blossom time, many, many flowers can become fruits. In the same way, many people can get realization. At this time, when it is such an important time, this is the time of judgment that has started. Now, how will you judge yourself? How will God judge you? Is He going to put you on the say, some sort of a weightlifting or onto some sort of one of the human tricks that we play to judge a person's abilities? No. The Kundalini is going to rise first of all. When the Kundalini rises, you start getting that awareness on your fingers. You start feeling the all-pervading power on your fingers because these are the centers of your subtle being, which get awakened, you start feeling it. And by that feeling, you get that vibratory awareness, by which you get the discrimination, and you know what's wrong with you, and you know what's wrong with others. So you judge yourself, you improve yourself, you know the method how to improve yourself. You feel better and better and better. And then once you're all right, you judge yourself. There is no need for God to judge, but God within you, your own spirit judges you. Because when the Kundalini rises, she touches the fontanelle bone area where she pierces through. You can feel first sometimes the throbbing, and then the cool breeze starts coming in. There is the spirit, the seat of the spirit. Though he resides in the heart in human beings, the seat of the spirit is on top of your head. And when it touches that, you start getting this discrimination and you start understanding. Now, if I tell you, don't do this, that's why these 10 commandments are that don't do this, don't do that. But human beings are such, if you tell them, don't do it, they'll do it 100 times. There's something wrong with them. I tell you, the brain is sometimes upside down, I think. If you tell them, please don't do it, don't burn even to a child, human child, if you tell him, now don't put your hand in the candle, you'll burn it, till he'll burn it. He must learn. He's so ego-oriented that he must learn by burning his hand. He must learn everything through experience of his ego. Till he is nicely bashed, he won't listen. So the best thing I thought was to give the realization. Once you have the realization, once your car has started, you will know where is the problem. Because if you tell somebody this is the problem, he may hit you back. It's not easy. If you tell somebody you have too much of ego, he'll come and box you completely. You can be crucified. I mean, this is what has happened to Christ. It's not easy to deal with human beings. You see, there's so much, just like a big snake sitting down there. You tell them something and they'll just come on you. Because if you mesmerize them, If you pamper their ego, oh, you are great people, only pass on your money to me and you will be yogis, you will be siddhas. So you don't mind. It's all right. Very simple. You give some money to Mataji Nirmala Devi. All right, she has all the money. Doesn't matter. We have the siddhas. We are the siddhas. We are the great yogis. This is my name is Falana Anand, Tikana Anand, and Dhonga Anand, and all these things. All these names you will wear, then the clothes you will wear, and walk with great pride. Oh, we are the yogis, we are the great yogis. Absolutely stupid. You are not. You are not. But you believe in it because there's nothing involved. You don't have to grow, nothing. Very simple. It is not so. You are seekers, you are seekers. And you will be seekers till you have found it. It's better that you find it and accept it. Because you are said, don't do it, don't go there, you are doing it. All right. So the mother style is different. All right, awaken their Kundalini. First of all, awaken their Kundalini. Like we had one Dr. Rustam with us, and he's a very good doctor and all that, and he got his realization. After that, I told him that now you won't drink, and really forgot about drinking completely. I mean, I never told him before. You drink, all right, come along, doesn't matter. Whatever you do, come along. He said, Mother, I never felt like drinking. But once, after some time, he went to Germany, and he used to like some sort of a wine, he told me. And he said that, now let us see what happens. You see, just like that, because he was very fond of it. So he went to drink that. And he had a terrible pain in the stomach. He vomited out. And the whole thing was smelling like a rotten cork. And he said that as if the cork was coming out of my mouth, I felt so horrible. And after that, I said, had it. And his health improved. His money improved because he was not wasting any more money on these nonsensical things. He had nice musical gadgets in his house and he started improving his life. In every way, he started looking so beautiful and so nice. Now, the thing is, if I tell you don't drink, I tell you all the pub people will come and hit me hard. But I don't say that. It just works out. Because once you have found out the nectar, the beauty of yourself, do not do it. You drink because you are bored. You smoke because you are bored of yourself. You just get bored. I mean, if you are imprisoned, why should you be so unhappy? You are just facing yourself. I mean, it's the best thing that can happen to a person is to be imprisoned. You are just watching yourself. The self is the most beautiful thing. But people are unhappy because they cannot face themselves. They want to run away. 5 minutes also people won't sit down together and talk to each other. They must call you for a cocktail, or there should be a television going on, or there should be some book two people must be reading. They cannot talk for 5 minutes. There's no rapport. But after realization, you feel so relaxed and so happy with yourself. You enjoy yourself so much. You forget about these things. Now, we have people here, some of them have been druggists and chemists, completely alcoholics and all sorts of things. And just it has worked out so well that they have become now people who are so beautiful. They have got this nectar of the spirit and they are giving it. The imbalances on the left-hand side, on the religious side, because yesterday I told you about the physical side and all that, but today an emotional side, but I'm telling you today about the religious side, what we do. That we believe in going to spirits, call the spirits to the planchets and this and that. We go to I was told that in Los Angeles you have got witchcraft, you have all kinds of nonsensical things going on. And for what do you do it? They said that, you see, my father died and I loved him very much, wanted to meet him. Now let him die. Poor thing has died now, he's spared of you. Let him have his freedom. Why are you torturing his soul? Oh, I wanted to talk to him. And then what you get is asthma. As a result of that, your father suffers because he must die now. He has to be in another world and you have to face it because now you are living, you are in the present. So why do you want to call people who have now gone and finished? But once you start doing all these things, then mesmerism starts, the ESP starts, all this nonsense starts, and you become slaves to it. And these things can be so dangerous. I mean, English language is such a funny language that you have got for spirit, even if you have to say the alcohol is spirit. Even the spirit that is dead is a spirit, and your spirit that is in your heart, which is the Atma, is also spirit, and the Holy Ghost is also a spirit. So I don't know which spirit you are worshipping. I am talking of the spirit that is the Atma, the spirit within your heart. And we go to all kinds of these spirits, morning till evening, going towards the left side. Now you'll be amazed. The result of this physically, leave alone other things, multiple sclerosis is one of them. Recently, I cured a patient of multiple sclerosis. He has been to one of the gurus who is very popular in this country. He has got multiple sclerosis now. Another thing that you get is blood cancer. Thirdly, most of the cancers come from that side. And all these things can happen to you if you indulge into the left side. Now, it has been proved by doctors also that there are some sort of proteins which attack us from the area which is unknown, which is built within us since our creations, means our left side, the collective consciousness. It has been accepted, but of course they call it unknown because they are not seers. They are not the people who have reached that stage to see that these spirits are coming from the left side. I mean, I actually see them going to a person and attacking them and getting out of them. And they are there within us. And anytime they can erupt and trigger a thing like cancer on the physical level, I'm telling you. Then you can develop epilepsy, you can develop schizophrenia, you can develop all kinds of these mental problems, lunacy, all these problems come to you from the left side. From the right side movement, you can become extremely arrogant, you can become absolutely useless for any talking or discussion or anything. You lack all the sense of proportion and you can become even Hitler. Hitler is one of the symbols of this development of right side. So those who push you into your egos and pamper you too much, be careful about them. Be very careful because they are pushing you to the right in your dharma also, in your ascent, in your seeking, and the ones which are giving you on the left-hand side are also doing the same. Now the simple thing is the people who are money-minded themselves have a problem. Always. Money-minded people are really like stuck up. I don't know what to call them. They are absolutely stuck up people. Because money-mindedness comes to us because we value money than anything else. Money is not the source of joy by any chance. Even those who have lots of money, if you go and see them, they are the most miserable people. On the contrary, a man who has got so much money, who has no problems, is happier. For example, supposing I own this machine. Take a simple example of possession of this machine. Now what happens to me? I'm worried about it, about cleansing it, it's insurance, I don't know what other income tax, all these things come with it. If I don't own it, it is owned by, say, Mr. Hugo, is a headache gone. To possess something means a headache. To possess money, today only I wanted to have some money cashed. It was such an experience of such a developed country like yours and Los Angeles, I was amazed. We couldn't get money anywhere. They said that our money is, not much. It was only how much? $2,000. Only $2,000 I had to pay cash money to people and all that. I couldn't get the money cash because they said, we don't have so much money. You go to the main bank. We went to the main bank. As if they went to the mint. From 9:30 till about 1 o'clock, we couldn't get the money. Can you imagine? They made me sign this, sign that, sign this. I said, what's happening? You people are supposed to be affluent people. There's no trust. There's everybody standing with a pistol somewhere, or what is happening? I don't understand. When you have so much money, how could you have so much money? But in India, no problem. No problem. I was in India in a place called Nilambur. These people were there, foreign and all this. So I told them, I'm not going to take my passport and give them this thing that I've signed it. Not only that they sent money, but they heard I was here. They all came from the bank to take my darshan and to get their realization. You see, people trust in poor countries. They just trust. Here you come, you have to have visa, this thing. In India, if you come, nobody will bother. I mean, you have to trust. If riches means mistrust, in London, people won't open their houses. Even a rat doesn't enter their house, I tell you. They will, morning till evening, the husband poor thing, the wives do not, but the husband's poor things are cleaning. I see them cleaning all the knobs, everything, cleaning the garden, all the things. And not even a rat enters their house. You see, they open this much of chink, I don't know. And I have not seen anybody enter their house. Only the husband and wife come, all frightened, looking at each other, holding their purses like this. It's most surprising. You are people belonging to a free country where from where did you get these people around? I mean, in India, there's no question. We walk with all our ornaments, everything. Nobody does that to us. And one lady was killed one lady, when she was wearing lots of ornaments and all that. Early in the morning, she was going by a train all alone in a first class, going for a wedding, and some man killed her and took all the ornaments. I mean, it was too much of a temptation. And her place was that, and the time was that. Oh God, the whole of the university went into, you will be surprised, into strike for that. So such a commotion I reached there. I said in London every third day there's a mugging going on. This is going on. This is nothing in London, it's so common. And now I'm told that here you can't even get money in the bank. I have to go for 3 hours just to get ordinary $2,000. Can you believe it? And is that the sign of freedom? Is that the sign of affluence? What is happening is that people are insecure. They are insecure completely because of this money bounding. They live with their money. If there's no money, what does it matter? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, it's not so important. But the way people are after money all the time, counting every pie and all that, they lose this chance. Then should these go out? But worst of all, their nabi. Nabi chakra goes out. You get a left nabi problem. Such people may get also blood cancers. They may get troubles of the left nabi. And such people have such a terrific speediness and such, franticness. They're very frantic people. You see, if they see money somewhere, they go absolutely mad, as if money is like some sort of a spirit or a ghost they have seen. Any talk of money, they just jump onto it. It's too much. I just can't understand such personalities. They are not most abnormal, absurd people. How are they human beings? If money can rule you, then you are slaves of money. You talk of independence and freedom. Where is your freedom? The money is ruling you here. That's what happens in your seeking. When you come to a person, those who are money-minded people, if they come to a person, he said, all right, you can pay money to me and you can purchase God. You feel very happy. Oh, very good idea. We can purchase God also. Can you purchase God? Can you purchase Him? And that's how these people take advantage of that ego. You think we have money, we can purchase God. Now we are people, very rich people, we can purchase God. That's why Christ has said that a rich man cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Even a camel can pass through the hole of a needle, but a rich man cannot enter into the kingdom of God because he's stuck on it. It's just become like, you see, you make somebody, you say that you hold. In the same way, a person is completely entranced with this money thing. Now, when they start that this is all junk and this is all nonsense, we should get out of it. So what do? You say, all right, give up this. Let us start another counter culture. Let us start another stuff. But you are not out of it. Just is a make-believe. You are not out of it. You think that you have done it. You have not done it. How will you get out of it? Is only through your awakening of this center, where there's a deity who is the Father, who is the preserver, who is the preserver aspect of God, who exists in that area. Unless and until you believe that there is a preserver who looks after us, the God Almighty looks after us, you are not going to get out of it. After realization, supposing you are a poor person, if you have problems of money, you'll be surprised your material side improves. Your material life improves. It improves so much. But how? Krishna has said, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. When you get the yoga, you get the well-being. When you get union with God, this is the center of Lakshmi, the center of the goddess of wealth, of well-being. If she is awakened within you, you get your money. But the money is not the way Mr. Ford has got. No, not that. It's the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a very beautiful symbol of a balanced money man. In her one hand, first of all, she is a lady. She is a lady standing on a lotus. Can you imagine how light-hearted she is? How light she must be. Here, if a rich man walks, you see, he must have a special honking thing. If he sits here, he must show that he's a very rich man. He'll walk with a big gait and show that he must have a big car to show off that he's a very big man. But here she just stands on a lotus. She's so simple. And she has in one hand, she has 4 hands, so 2 hands she has got the lotus. The lotus means she has warmth, she has love, the pink color. And inside the lotus is such a soft corona, you can say the soft bed. And the bed is used by a very thorny insect whom we call as a, I don't know, you call it a bee or something. It's a very thorny, or gnat, I think it's a black thing, is used for sleeping. So the person who has money has to be warm like a lotus, and anybody who comes to his house, he must be welcomed the way the lotus welcomes and puts him on this beautiful, soft couch. Even a person like a gnat, if he comes, she must offer. This is a sign. Here, if a guest comes in, add it. I mean, the guest, as soon as he sees the face of a person where he enters, he runs away. He just can't bear, because to them it means expense. Any guest coming in means expense. But the amount of joy one can get in giving something to another is not there. So generosity is the only way to overcome your greed for money. If you earn money, you better give. If you earn 2, give 3. If you buy something, buy it for giving. If you start doing like that, you will get over this money-mindedness, which is such a mire into which so many people have embedded. Actually, poor are better. If you go to poor man's house, he'll offer you a lot of milk. He'll be happy you've come to that house. Whatever things he has, he'll offer you. But if you go to rich man's house, he'll be really frightened that one guest has come in his house. When he can afford to look after thousands, he cannot bear it. So generosity is the only solution for people who are money-minded. On the contrary, your generosity will flow to people who do not deserve it, like these horrible gurus. You see they have got keeps, you see they have got big cars, you see they have built big mansions, they are parasites, and you'll go on flowing money onto them. Because there your ego is there. There's a competition. We have cults in India where they have competitions. They take out the God's photograph outside. All right, the one who is going to give 500 pounds, say example, sits on the horse. The one who gives 1,000 pounds will sit on the elephant. Like that, you see, they go on with the God. And that's how they go on playing. And in that community, I've seen they also auction it. Now, the one on the horse, how much? 500. It's like that. They're selling God. And they are doing it. And it's a very regular thing. You have to go and we call it calling for that. How much money you are going to pay? Is this the way to receive God and to understand Him? This is all right for money-minded people. They'll go into the mire of money and finish there. Now, God is love. He's not money. He doesn't understand money, you see. Doesn't understand, really. And godly people don't. I'm hopeless. I'm absolutely hopeless. I don't understand this. I don't know how to sign a check. I don't know anything. I only know Kundalini. But if you ask me about money parts, I'm so hopelessly bad that, you'll be amazed. I'm just like a rustic person who has never known ABCs of anything as far as money is concerned, because I don't understand why to worry about so much. What is such a great need to count every time, to measure every time, to find out every time? There's no need. With all that, such a headache, such a worry, such a problem. Whatever you get, you just live with it. Why to worry about all these small things and to go about wasting your life for this nonsensical thing like material things? These we can create if you hit it, and they will be all created. Human beings have already created. What is so great about them? Now you have to take to the living force, the living power within you, by which you create living world. Now after realization, you'll be amazed. If you give vibration, say, to the wheat or to any such thing, to flowers, you get such big flowers. You get a new, we have tried this in an agricultural university, and they have found out that when you give vibrations to the wheat, they have found that it can increase 5 times more in its growth. They have seen a cow, an Indian cow, if she is given vibrated water to drink, she can give quite a lot of milk. Not so much as we can say an Australian cow, but Australian cow's milk is not good. It's not a good thing. It's very too much on the right hand side. But she will give so much, is much more than what she normally gives. So you do not become too much. You become a Lakshmipati, means you get so much money that you can receive people, you can invite them, you are cozy, and you give a house which is beautiful. Now she has another hand, which is just giving. If you earn, you must give. Otherwise, the whole thing stagnates. I've known people who have gathered newspapers since 50 years. They have got tubes of their toothpaste gathered since they have been born. All sorts of things we gather here, thinking that you see all kinds of mad people who go on collecting things, and you have to actually get the municipal people to take it away after paying them big money to clear out this nonsense of the garbage these people have created in the house. So this is how you should allow things to flow from your house. Let it go. Give it, and give it. When you give, then new things come. I mean, only I have lived with giving in my own lifetime, I will be amazed. I go on giving and giving and giving, but still my house and my everything is so filled, I don't know what to do. Every time I get a chance, I give. Every time I find a chance, I give, so that I do not hurt anybody, and I give them. But I find the whole house is filling up. You give somebody one flower, they'll send 10 flowers. What to do? I can't understand. The people who preserve, you see, decays and they become so old, sitting down, counting everything. While I have seen, this is the most healthy way of living in this world. Just give, just give. Do not worry. Anybody ask anything, likes it or not, have it. It's such a good thing, such a great thing, such a joy. Suddenly you meet somebody. The other day I met a lady in a party. She said, do you remember you gave me this? I said, which one? She said, this is the one I'm wearing, a pearl. I had come to your house when I was married. You gave me this pearl necklace. I said, really? I don't remember. Oh, I wore it today just to show you. How? I mean, I felt so happy. Just what a little thing like a pearl necklace I'd given her. But what a thing to remember all her life. She met me after 20 years. That time she was pregnant and today she had a son. I was so amazed to see this beautiful thing happening. Just she wore it all the time. She had it with her, and she wore it the day she was to meet me. She knew I was coming to the party. What a great feeling. I mean, you cannot purchase it. With thousands of these pearl necklaces can be thrown on this little beautiful event in my life that I felt this lady, how she had cared for a little thing like that. All these things are for expressing your love. These are for expressing your love. And if you understand the value of love, you can get rid of it. Now, the other hand of the goddess is like this. This means a person who has money must give ashraya. Ashraya means he must give a protection to people. He must have some people who are in their protection. Like in India, people say that you have a servant system, this thing, that thing. But of course, I mean, I do not say that in India servants are treated. I mean, my servant has a better bedroom than I have. I must admit. He has a better bedroom than I have because my husband has one bedroom. And naturally, I have a small one because I share his bedroom. And he has a bigger one. And he lives better than me in many ways. But he is a person who can do all this work. Now, I have to do Kundalini work. If I start sweeping, swabbing in the house, if my husband has to sweep, swab, who's going to look after his office? Here the thing is, even the president must go and sweep and swab. Otherwise, he's not all right. I don't understand. You see, if you have people who are dependent on you, I mean, your children should work for you. In the same way, if there are servants, if they work for you, what is wrong? In England, I have seen old people die. There's nobody to look after them. 1 month they are lying in the rooms. There's nobody to pick their bodies because they cannot have somebody to help. And the young people are sitting outside and taking ganja. I mean, it's shameful thing. Their own children might be taking ganja somewhere and the father is dying there. Why can't these people go and work and help their parents and look after them? If they are old, they are supposed to clean, sweep, swab. Even the 80-year-old people must drive their cars. They must take them to the thing. It's not good. You are not just to them. So you must have people in Ashraya. If you have money, you should have people who should do some work for you. For example, now, everybody wants to do every work by themselves. For example, now, we can say our stitching of, say, a blouse. Now, we have a tailor. We have had him for about 20, 30 years since my daughters were married. He's tailoring my blouses. All right. Now, he, poor man, how much does he take? At the most, say about $2 or $1 for this thing. Let him have it. He can only do that much work. Let him do that work. He's an expert in it. Now, I have no time to do mine. So you will say, no, why should you waste your time on that? Why should you waste your money on that? But I can't stitch the way he does it. Let him do it. What's wrong? Here we have killed all our art, uh, all our aesthetics by doing everything yourself. You cannot do everything yourself. Now, paper, if you have to apply paper, you must do yourself. Why don't you share your money with somebody else? Why do you want to do everything yourself? Same thing has happened to cooking. I mean, people eat nothing but fodder here. Sometimes the way they cut everything, just eat all that. It's a good excuse to say that we are eating all the vitamins, but that's too hard for human digestion. It's not good. You never cook in the house because the wife must work, the husband must work. They must all go to the office. They all should work. The wife has no time. The husband has no time. No time for the children. The wife has to cook in the house. If she has spare time, all right, she should work also. She has to look after the children. There's nothing wrong in that work. That's a very noble work. The ideal, I sometimes say, those people who have done good work in their previous lives are the mothers today. They are having a nice time. I mean, I look at my husband, I say, how much he worked for. I mean, now as a mother, I do work for my Sahajya, but otherwise, I have a comfortable life. So why must you all do all the work? You must have some people for your ashraya. You must give them some money. Share your money with others. Protect them. This is one of the things that we have to understand about this deity, which is called as the Lakshmi. And she resides in our stomach. And this is very important to understand that if you want to have blessings of the divine, you should be a balanced person. You have to awaken the Lakshmi principle within you. And that Lakshmi resides in this kind of balancing, where you understand that love is the determining factor of all our monetary behavior, monetary exchanges and report. There's no other way we can judge it. And that's the main basic thing which we are missing today in the modern times. Now, the Kundalini's awakening take place and awakens this center. When this is awakened, then you go higher into the center, which is higher, we can say, called as the center of the heart. But between these two is a center that is moving round and round, is a center of our activity, which is the center of Swadhisthana. I have told you about this yesterday, that how by activating Swadhisthana chakra too much, we develop imbalances within us, we develop diseases like diabetes, we develop diseases like kidney and spleen, and also uterus trouble in women because there are imbalances. After this center, which is the center of our activity, when we have gone beyond the center, then we go to this center, which is the center of heart. This is a very important center in human beings. Is governed by the deity of Jagadamba, meaning the mother of the universe. This center is acting on our sternum in our childhood. We develop our antibodies in our sternum when this center starts acting. And these antibodies later on spread in the whole body and start defending us against all kinds of diseases, against all kinds of attacks on us. And these doctors know about it. They know there are antibodies, but they cannot say how they are created and how they are within us. So when we are attacked from outside by anything, what happens? We start getting the palpitation. Because these people are informed through the sternum bone that the attack is coming. And this palpitation suggests that there is an emergency and antibodies must fight it. Now, the women who are insecure like that, they develop a disease called breast cancer and all those things. And these diseases can be very dangerous in people who have insecurities and who hide themselves and who do not tell about insecurities. They can develop these diseases and ultimately they can be in terrible trouble. Today, I'm sorry I won't be able to cover all the centers because it's already quite late and we have this hall only till 10:30. So we have to do the actualization of the experience of getting the realization and we have to work it out. So that is the main thing. And whatever was possible, I've told you the theory behind the awakening of the Kundalini up to these centers. And if possible, tomorrow I'll try to do the other two centers. Now, should we have the experience? I think it would be better if everyone moves forward. It will be better for us to work it out. Thank you.